We've seen some amazing things, but that, my friends, is something we've never seen.
Brandon Cruz wants advice.
Brandon Cruz wants advice.
Brandon wants advice.
Brandon Cruz wants advice. You just locked yourself into the playoffs.
Nice.
Got it.
Talk with old Brandon Cruz wants advice.
Completely speechless, to say the least.
Man, I am honestly so baffled by that decision. Brandon Cruz wants advice. It's Brandon wants advice.
Green flag in the air. Brandon Cruz wants advice to the front.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to my video on Kansas. I am filming this at 1:58 a.m., so my girlfriend is asleep, so if I'm a little quiet, just turn up that earpiece a little bit, turn up that YouTube volume just a tad, and let's get right into it. First off, check out my article on Burnout Avenue. I will have my low-owned picks and my value picks that I like posted there. Also, follow me on Twitter for some of my updates, and help me out on Patreon. Help me get actual graphs on these videos, and where it's just not me talking to you with a static image in the background. Speaking of static images, check it out right there. You will see that I am yet again working my magic in the Truck Series. That is all this year has been. I absolutely kill in the Truck Series, kill in the Xfinity Series, and I am just not able to frickin' cash in the goddamn Cup Series because I am just trying different things there. So I need to either just redo. I just need to rethink what I'm doing in the Cup Series because I'm having way more success in the Trucks and Xfinity Series, and half the time I don't have time to make articles or videos on those. And how you guys doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? This is the Brandon Cruz Daily Fantasy Podcast. I'm recording this at 2:10 a.m. My girlfriend's asleep. If you can't hear me, just turn up your volume a little bit on the YouTube thing, and you should be able to hear me fine. Check out my article on Burnout Avenue tomorrow when that is posted. I'll tweet it out. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, and think about supporting me on Patreon. You know, help me out. Help me make it to where I actually have stuff on the screen and not just my voice with a static image in the background. And this video is only going to be about 7 minutes. Let's get right into it. First off, entering Kansas. Kansas is a single file racetrack. I mean, it's a one groove racetrack, and we haven't had a whole lot of cautions this year, at least naturally occurring crashes and things of that nature, so I don't expect to see it here at Kansas because Kansas never really had a whole lot of crashes or anything like that. It's going to be won and lost on pit road. I think that's where a lot of the big names like Denny Hamlin and stuff are going to actually make up a lot of positions because they're going to get stuck in traffic. I do think the top drivers will rise to the top, and at least like the top 10 finishers in this race will be the top 10 drivers in NASCAR at the moment. I'm just looking at practice speeds, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of tire wear or a lot of tire fall off in that regard there. Also, this package sucks, and I'm having more luck with the Truck Series and Xfinity Series this weekend. First off, just look at the screen right now. I mean, this was tonight in the Truck Series. Didn't even watch the race. They don't even give a shit about this stuff anymore. I don't even watch them. I just look at this purely as a DFS perspective there. Entering this weekend, or entering this race, I'd like the 4, 18, 19, 2, 22, and 11, and then the 4 just supported that by being fastest in lap averages and getting the pole position. I mean, Harvick is freaking killing it. Really, any of the Stewart-Haas racing drivers are on play this weekend, but they all start in the top 4. So really, Harvick is the only guy that I could really use from that stable. Looking at starting positions, at least. So Kyle Busch is interesting. Ty Dillon's interesting. Paul Menard is interesting. Hamlin starting 17th is interesting. I like Jimmy Johnson 18th, Blaney and Logano. Those are the most interesting drivers that I think are going to carry ownership. I think other people that are going to carry ownership are going to be Chris Buescher, Matt DiBenedetto, and Ryan Preece. I love Tyler Reddick for this race, and I'm going to be over-owned on Tyler Reddick like a motherfucker. You know, I'm just going to own him like crazy. And last week I said don't play anyone starting 23rd back. I'm going to move that down a little bit. Don't play anyone starting 31st back this weekend. I'm only going to do about 3 lineups this weekend. Not going to really mass enter. I got to work tomorrow night anyway, so I'm not even going to watch the frickin' race. I'll probably just skim through it Sunday, you know, after the fact of everything that happens and all that. But yeah, the guys that are just really interesting. I mean, look where Tyler Reddick falls in DraftKings lineup, salary-wise. He's 6,300. He's in between Byron Reddick, or Byron Preece and Hemrick and Wallace. Wallace is starting 12th. I don't think anyone's going to really use him, but I think people are going to flock to DiBenedetto, Preece, Hemrick. I mean, even though Reddick is winning a lot right now in the Xfinity Series, just Buescher, Newman, those guys just look way more appealing, so I'm hoping that he'll be lower owned. Eric Jones starting 11th, especially at $8,900 is interesting. I don't think a lot of people can afford him. Same with Logano and Keselowski. Like, say for example, if you put Harvick and Logano together, and then you put Reddick together, you can still make a damn good lineup with that situation. You know, that is a good place to go. And I think the way you got to win this is don't play any of the back markers. You cannot afford to have people go a lap down. Last week I said at least 12 guys will be on the lead lap close to the end. I think it'll be more closer to 18 this weekend, but still, you don't want those guys who are going a lap down. You want people who are going to be on the lead lap the whole race. You want people who are going to be in contention the whole race, and you want like good studs. And this week presents a very, very interesting place, especially the 69 or the $6,800 starting with the Benedetto all the way to about $8,700 with Larson. Larson is a hell of a sleeper pick. Don't think a lot of people are going to go to Larson, even though he should have won. He should have freaking dominated last weekend. Johnson, like I said, I love Johnson. I like Dillon also. I think Dillon and Stenhouse are really going to not carry a whole lot of ownership. Same with Menard. I mean, Johnson is by far my favorite play with Tyler Reddick and Eric Jones. Those are my three favorite plays this weekend for low-owned guys. Keselowski also falls into that, but we'll just have to see how you can fit that in there. I know this isn't as long as some people like, but man, it's Kansas. Listen, it's a single-file racetrack. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. It's a cookie-cutter racetrack. Harvick is showing speed. I don't see there's a reason to really fade Harvick this weekend, and man, he's just showing some kick-ass speeds. You know, Keselowski second fastest in lap averages on practice one, and then it was Almirola and Boyer. Kurt Busch is showing fast speed. Larson fifth fastest average speed, second practice. Elliott, Bowman, Blaney, Jones, and Byron. You can even throw and Keselowski was 11th when Kyle Busch was 12th. So. And Bubba's showing some speed too this weekend. You know, Bubba ain't slowing down that much. He's racing with a heavy heart this weekend. But you know, this weekend I'm not too concerned on what drivers I'm picking. I'm just going to focus strictly on ownership. I'm going to let ownership decide where I go. I'm going to pick three guys, like I said, Harvick, you know, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, people like that, people that I know are going to carry ownership, and just throw three flyers. That is my plan for this weekend. PM me on Twitter, tweet at me on Twitter if you want my information or my thoughts on other drivers, but that's how I'm going to go into this weekend, guys. I'm picking three studs and then three guys that I think are going to be low owned. That is my plan. I know a lot of people out there. You guys listen to other videos. I know I'm not the only one out there. Other people are going to be like, play this guy, play this guy, play this guy over there. Like everyone last week was like, play Ty Dillon, play Buescher, and that did not work last weekend. So I'm going to let those people tell you who the chalk is and who to pick there. I'm going to just be playing guys that I think are going to be stupidly low owned. Even if they're in terrible situations, I'm going to be playing them. So that's my advice for this weekend. Next week it's going to be a little bit more fun because I mean we're slowly getting closer to Charlotte in the All-Star race, and I always love those weekends. So this is going to be an interesting race. I think it's going to be just a cookie-cutter racetrack that we all know who's going to win. It's going to be one of the big three, honestly. I don't see anyone else. And then focusing on right fast on pit road speeds and entries. I mean, a lot of these races have been won entering pit road. That's how Hamlin stole that race at Texas. That's how Martin Truex won last week at Dover, based on a good pit road strategy. I mean, pit road is where a lot of these things are won, so it's not necessarily the fastest car anymore. It's just whoever can break away and get a good entry on the pit road. So keep that in mind. You guys don't get married to your money. Thank you for listening. Comment anything you got. If you have any questions or anything, that's my strategy for this weekend. I'm going to pick three guys that are chalk, not going to care about their ownership. Pick three guys that are flyers. That's straight up my direction. You guys have a fantastic weekend.